Good morning, faculty, family, friends, and fellow Spartans. My name is Isabel Arnold, and I am honored to be graduating with each of you today. As I stand up here, I know that I am surrounded by some of the most brilliant minds this campus has to offer. After all, we are all Briggsies, are we not? Before we exit this campus and move on to our bright futures, let us first remember how far we have come. We each arrived at Holmes Hall, grabbing those green mail carts and waiting in long lines for the elevators. I remember it was so hot that there was no ice to be found in the building for weeks after move-in. Despite this, we all made it through that first move-in weekend, started our classes, and learned what it meant to be a Briggs student and a Spartan. From attending labs in the Holmes basement to arguing with peers about if the west side of the building or the east side of the building was a better place to live in. I'll be honest, I lived in both and I'm still not fully sure. We slowly but surely began to make our mark in the world that was MSU. We joined clubs, took challenging classes, studied abroad, worked in the community, and mentored new Briggs students. From football games wearing colorful Spartan wristbands in the student section, to walks along the Red Cedar, each of us made our MSU our home in one way or another. Yet, despite all of these wonderful things, our journey to this final celebration has not been an easy one. As a class, these 4 years have been filled with unthinkable pain and challenges, both on our campus and across the world. We started our experience in the recovery period of the COVID-19 pandemic, attending some of our classes online and wearing masks everywhere, including the IME's gym. Then, just as we recovered from this, the tragedy of February 13th occurred and everything seemed to break apart yet again. Furthermore, I'm sure that each of you faced setbacks academically and personally over these 4 years. After all, no one said that being a Spartan was going to be easy. I do not speak of these things to cause you sadness or strife, but instead to help you reflect on the resilience and perseverance of each of you. We were not guaranteed to make it to this day, but yet here we are. That is something to be deeply proud of. As Lyman Briggs students, we are so much more than our achievements, awards, and degrees. Because of the lessons we have learned and the classes we have taken, we can now understand that science and other STEM fields do not and cannot happen in a bubble. I remember discussions in my science and society classes, though I remember them being called HPS classes. And to be honest, I thought that they were a waste of time at first. Sorry, Dr. DeGraw, I realize now I was not a joy to have in class. Yet, as I took more of these classes with Dr. Thiel, Dr. Bellin, and Dr. Parks, I came to realize that the history, philosophy, ethics, and sociology that we learned during that freshman year class was actually incredibly important, and it set us apart from other STEM majors on campus. And it wasn't just the HPS classes either. From making videos and documentaries about squirrel behavior, to producing podcasts on chemistry reactions, or making websites to help the public understand complex medical conditions, our education had been ingrained with one key concept. Science and math impacts our society, and we are running the ship. The unique environment of Lyman Briggs' small classes, invested teachers, and humanities focus has set us up for great success going into the future. I cannot claim to know each of you, as I'm sure you do not know me, yet we are all connected through this college and the lessons we have learned within it. Each of us has a different story that influences how we interact with the world. For example, I learned that I love to teach while here at MSU, and this only happened because of Dr. Lucky and his willingness to let a way over-enthusiastic sophomore run a biology lab, something that in hindsight was incredibly trusting of him. Because of the encouragement I received both from him and my peers, I was able to make more of my experience at MSU than I would have if I had not been believed in. I am certain that each of you can identify people, places, and situations that shaped your life and your story. I encourage you to remember them and cherish them because it our stories that allow us to change the world. It takes one step, one change, one Spartan to influence a generation, and I know that each of you is up to the challenge. So, though we go on to many different paths, I know that we will forever be connected because once a Briggsy, always a Briggsy. Congratulations to the class of 2025. Let us go change the world together. Go green!